Good morning, everybody. This is Vicky from Healthwatch South Tees, and today we're going to talk to one of our community champions, Caroline, and talk about the work she does. So, good morning, Caroline. Can you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself, please?
I'm Caroline Nakachwa. I work as a community champion for Healthwatch South Tees. However, I do work as a food insecurity officer for Together Middlesbrough and Cleveland.
Lovely, thank you, Caroline. So, obviously, we've been talking quite a lot recently about things that have been happening for yourself and how that links in with the work of around health and everything like that. So, I just wondered if you could tell us a little bit at the moment about what's happening, for the people that you're working with at the moment.
Um, what is happening has transitioned. When I just joined Healthwatch South Tees as a champion last year, I was then a community engagement officer, and we did a kind of survey with an organization called Civil Society Consulting.
Yeah.
The report is on our website and all that. And it came out with several barriers in the communities, why, especially the UK ethnic minority communities, any barriers that hinder them to develop wholesomely as a community. And some of the barriers could be like hindering them to access health services, the digital exclusion, there was bits and bits here of poverty and access to benefits and things like that. So it evolved over time. That was in the middle of the pandemic when everyone was like, so, and then later on when I changed roles, I became a food insecurity officer, and you can see it's not we are not only targeting UKME communities, but we are looking at communities holistically, and still there are issues arising. For example, pre-pandemic, we ran a program called Feast to Fun.
Yeah.
Feast to Fun is just a holiday program relieving families the cost of food and activities over the holidays. So the funny bit is, it's not even funny. And pre-pandemic, we would deal with around 20 groups of people, like, let me say, engaging like 20 families, 30 families. But during the pandemic, it was scaled 7 times more. And the number never went down when the lockdowns were uplifted or when everything came back to the new normal. So those are the issues coming up, and with the current cost of living and the crisis glaring in our faces, we don't know at the end of year or in the next 2 years what will be happening. So it's if you look at it holistically, the cost of living, the poverty, it's going to impact health. It's going to affect different individuals in so many ways I cannot even put in words.
Yeah, it's obviously there's so much information in the media about it, and it's like for yourself seeing it on a sort of a day-to-day basis. I think that some of the can you share any of the instances that's been sort of particularly kind of touching to you, really, about how the crisis is actually affecting people?
Like from statistics we do have, we used to give, let me say, a couple of 1,000 meals, but they have escalated to over 200,000 meals. And if you do translate it into money, like the resources, October alone, the October half time is 1 week. We used to look at and support around 8 groups, But this October half term, October 2022, we had over 18 applications, and we had to turn away a £7,500 worth of applications. And this translates to, let me say, to 1,500 meals. If I say each meal costs £5, so it means we turned away we've turned away 1,500 children, and the half didn't run this October half term. So probably all these groups, all these people were let down, and we're like, what just happened? But we can only do what's in our means to do.
Yeah.
We can only do what's in our means to do, really. So, and if you do reach out to the communities that do deliver Feast of Fun, their church groups, their volunteers are pulling resources from community champions here and there, the councils and things like that. So the need has really escalated, and in such a short time. And and if you look at the child poverty reports at the moment, the Northeast is not doing very well, and it's, in a way, it's going to affect, let me say, you will see, I don't know, in a way, it's going to affect health, either the environmental causes of health, the breathing problems, and all that. In a way,
I suppose it's both mental and physical health, isn't it? From the point of view of if you're hungry, then you're not going to be able to concentrate at school for the children, and obviously for families worrying about the cost of living. And I just think that, you know, keeping warm as well, people just looking for places to keep warm. And I know that there's some schemes going on for venues where people can go to sort of keep warm. But have you found that people are accessing them at all? Do you know much about that, Caroline?
Initially, we used to run a program called the Warm Welcome Network. It was initially, it was so hosted in churches and community groups and things like that. I think I took it over in July, but it ended in March this year. But I've seen the council has taken over a thing called Places of Welcome, which is a good.
That's it.
Yeah. I know the Places of Welcome are there, but honestly, one of the challenges I did face when I was collecting data around it, if we leave it to volunteers, if we leave it to the will and only the will of the people, without additional help, without putting in resources, without really mobilizing how this Welcome are going to run, because in the end they will have to fundraise the heating. They'll have to fundraise, let me say, the resources, let me say, to give out a few meals and there to buy blankets and all that. So we can't leave it to voluntary organizations. We can't leave it to volunteers. We can't just leave it at the mercy of people. No.
It's very difficult, isn't it? And I was thinking, and I was speaking to somebody else actually recently about it, and it's also encouraging people to come to these venues, because actually will everyone feel comfortable to come to kind of I know somebody I was speaking to was saying there's a little bit of, some people would be a little bit embarrassed to sort of come to somewhere like that. They might feel uncomfortable. Is there anything that you would say to people who are feeling that way? Because I've been, and I know that they're great when you get there, but actually getting through the door, and maybe if you do struggle to kind of leave your home and things like that.
Like, in a way, like culturally, like one of them, I'll not bring it in a way of Places of Welcome. It's not only that people feel embarrassed or ashamed. Even in the food programs of food society, I've interacted with families, and they're like, there is need, yes. There is need, but if you reach out to a family, like, is it okay you give a brief interview so that we do publicize the need in the community? They'll tell you things like, It's okay, but we don't want to appear in videos with words like poverty.
Yeah.
So you have to find friendly wording around
Yeah.
it to
Yeah.
make the person feel not ashamed, or not to put them in that place of being uncomfortable and things like that.
Yeah.
The same to mental health, how we look at mental health in our communities. Um, like sometimes you have to just let the message like it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
Like in such a way, like there are days when I'm not okay. There are days when I'll run to let me say citizens advice, like I'm in this, I'm this and this and this, and I need this and this kind of help. So we have to package information in a way that people perceive it in a way that it is okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
And if I'm not okay, where should I go so that I'm made okay, or
Yeah.
so that I get the help I need?
Yeah, and I think that you know that sort of understanding and that passion that you've got is probably one of the main things that sort of encourage you to become a community champion, because we need to be able to learn about, use it like you say, it's okay not to be okay, using that language and making sure that firstly that all of us are using the right language, but also that you can tell us about what's happening to people, to say to us, oh well, you know, use this language and whatever. So I think that's really important in terms of sort of a role of a community champion.
Language is very powerful. I can give a case scenario. I won't say where it happened, but it is a community kitchen, and when we were getting resources from someone, they wanted to just get the feedback from the people, the experience and all that. And the people were okay with that. But as soon as the banners came up with words of child poverty, feeding families, everyone was like, Caroline, can I withdraw my consent to participate in this?
Really?
So it is that language, it is that we have to find a way to communicate effectively without demoralizing, without belittling, without making me feel ashamed of my
Yeah.
situation. If you
Yeah.
find I don't have the vocabulary to use and explain it fully, but
I think that you think you don't have the vocabulary, but you explained it perfectly there, Caroline. And I think that that's, you know, that's vital, and that's what we're kind of about, isn't it? Really about hearing all of these views and actually sharing, and it's so important. And every sort of group that we work with and every sort of community champion has their own challenges with you know, with the words and with the messages and getting that to come back to us. So I think that's really important for us to realize, for everyone to realize, because you think that one message is going to suit everyone and it doesn't.
it doesn't. In the ethnic minority community, issues about domestic violence, mental health, you tread carefully.
Yeah.
Very, very carefully. You have to package your messages in a way that it is appropriate, in a way that it will be perceived positively, in a way that it is not going to belittle or point fingers at anyone. So
Yeah.
I believe the same can be adapted to other engagement programs, and once you cannot fit it all.
No, not at all, not at all. Thank you for that. So
Mm.
if somebody was wanting to look for more information about the work that you're involved in, or any sort of groups or anything like that, where's a good place to start, Caroline?
You can start from our website. We have so many reports of the need in because we do work Middlesbrough, Redcan, Cleveland in the Southeast. It's at www.togethermc.org.uk. We have several reports. The pre-pandemic, the COVID, and the current need at the moment. About child poverty, we are doing we did mental health resilience projects, and we had ethnic minority groups participate in that. We had supported programs of digital inclusion and things like that. All of it is
that's great. Yeah, and I'll share the link to the website as well under the vlog, so that we've got that for anybody who wants to look at that. So I'd like to thank you for this morning. It's been really, really great, and we'll continue to work together, Caroline, and we're both quite passionate, aren't we? In our own ways about what we want to achieve. Okay, thanks again, Caroline. See you later. Bye now.
Bye.